go ahead and open up this Colab notebook or copy the code or continue forward that has the pi measurements data as you see in front of you from a previous lesson, okay? We're gonna work with this data, and this is kind of a special lesson because I'm gonna show you how to convert this into what's called a pandas data frame. So the first thing you should do is make sure that this data is in fact stored. So get it into a coding cell. Don't forget, if you are copying a notebook, to do File, Save a Copy in Drive. That way it is your own. And then you need to run this first coding cell to store that data. Okay, so how do we convert this into a pandas data frame? Well, code along with me. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to import pandas as PD. So this is Python's special data analytics library, very fast and powerful. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the DataFrame object. So DF, that's generally short for DataFrame. And what we want to assign to that variable is this dictionary, but we want this dictionary really to be not just as is, okay? We want it to be a pandas data frame. And so the way we do that is we go inside of the pandas library, pd dot, and then if we start typing data, there you see data frame with a capital D, capital F. And we want to put pi measurements inside of that. Okay, so that's going to do a conversion out of a dictionary and into what's called a data frame. And then to view that data frame, okay, so df is our data frame. And one of the nice methods on df, there are a lot, okay, just look at the A's there, you know, we're going to do the head, and that shows the top of a data frame with a parenthesis. So that's a classic method of data frames to actually view it, okay? So what we're doing is we're translating this data into a pandas data frame. So go ahead and get that code up, then press Shift-Enter, and you can see you have a nice visual output. Very clean. You can see it as the student names, as the columns, and the different rows are sort of like their individual measurements. Now, this is not an introduction to data analytics. That is a lot of what I do. It's the second half and beyond of what I teach. So if you continue forward beyond introductory Python, you will definitely know the ins and outs of working with pandas data frames. I just want to show you one thing, and I will show you how you can get the mean of the students, like what were their mean measurements, okay? So the first thing you would have to do here is to be able to access the columns. Now this is very similar to how you would access, you know, or say assign a value to a dictionary, right? For a dictionary, if our dictionary is called df, you would then use the bracket, okay, the square brackets, and then you can start with Eliza, since that's first on our list, Eliza, right? And you could like assign it a value. You do that for a dictionary. Well, in a data frame, it's a NumPy array. And so that allows us to sort of take advantage of mathematical methods and computations. So I can look at all the .m's here, .mean, okay? And so that's going to give us the mean value of just Eliza's measurements. We can see a very impressive 3.13 as pi is actually 3.14. Okay, next, very difficult to measure things that are circular, by the way. So in practice, so next we have Eric, and we can find the mean. You know, Eric's averaged out to a 3.0, and then finally we can put in Elena, and we will see that Elena, if we put in the dot mean, averages out to a 3.3, so a little high, but still very good. So there you have sort of just the beginnings of some things you can do with pandas data frames. And just to point out, the bridge here between traditional Python and pandas is the dictionary, right? It's converting a traditional dictionary in Python into a pandas data frame where you can just do so much more with the computations, as hopefully you will see if you continue forward.